Woman trying to adopt girl gets stunned by judge. Liz Smith was at a crossroads. Though she had always dreamed of one day becoming a mother, it seemed that life had other plans for the 43-year-old New England nurse. But just as she was about to give up on her dream for good, a window opened, and on the other side she discovered a gift that had been well worth the wait. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. As the director of nursing at the Franciscan Children's Hospital in Brighton, Massachusetts, Liz Smith experienced her fair share of triumph and heartbreak on the job. But nothing could prepare the veteran nurse for the day she met Giselle. Liz had spotted baby Giselle in the hallway of the hospital, watching as one of the other nurses carried her into the infant care ward. At the sight of the child's bright blue eyes, Liz immediately fell in love. Though as she learned more about the hospital's newest resident, Liz felt her heart grow heavy in her chest. Evidently, Giselle was suffering from neonatal abstinence syndrome, as her birth mother had used a number of heavy drugs during her pregnancy. Giselle was born premature and weighed under 2 pounds at birth. The original hospital where she was born proved unequipped to care for the delicate infant, and so at 3 months she was transferred into Liz's care at Franciscan. Liz was heartbroken over this news, though a new realization about the child shattered her to pieces. Giselle, who was then 8 months old, hadn't received a single visitor while in her care. For 5 months, this innocent child was all alone. As Liz drove home from the hospital that night, she couldn't shake Giselle's striking blue eyes from her head. Then, with absolute certainty, another thought entered her mind. I'm going to foster this baby. I'm going to be her mother. For years, the veteran nurse was content to be an aunt to her nieces and nephews, though from an early age she always knew she wanted to be a mom. Yet, following the recent end of a long-term relationship, Liz felt that her time was running out. Even at age 43, Liz was unwilling to put her dream of having children aside and opted to explore IVF options. Unfortunately, Liz was deemed unsuitable for the procedure, putting motherhood out of reach. Or so she thought. But she was getting ahead of herself. After all, this child still had biological parents somewhere out there. So Liz did the next best thing to becoming a mother. She applied to foster Giselle for the rest of her recovery. And just 3 weeks later, the state approved Liz's application, allowing the nurse to take Giselle home with her. Everyone from Liz's family to her coworkers was ecstatic over the news, and they set to work helping the new foster mom build a nursery for Giselle. Leaving the parking lot of the hospital with Giselle and a car full of baby stuff, I was in shock that it was happening, said Liz. I was excited but nervous, realizing that I was committing everything I had to this child who might not be in my life forever. During Giselle's time with Liz, the state made sure to allow her birth parents every opportunity to visit in an attempt to get the child to bond with them. But after months of lackluster results and little effort on the part of the parents, they were officially deemed unfit to care for Giselle. The day I got the call that their parental rights were terminated was very sad, Liz recalled. My gain was another's loss. It's a feeling difficult to describe when you're experiencing this life-changing moment that someone else is as well, in the opposite way. Yet, as sad as the situation was, Liz couldn't help but feel that her dream of parenthood was finally about to come true. She petitioned the state to officially adopt Giselle, and when her application came back, she couldn't believe it. They said yes. And so, on October 18th, 2018, Liz and Giselle, flanked by a crowd of family and friends, gathered at the Brockton Courthouse to officially become mother and daughter. Surprisingly, out of the many admirers that attended the confirmation that day, the judge was the most vocal in support of adoption. When a judge walks in the room, everyone stands out of respect, said the judge. But today I stand in respect for you, Liz, because you deserve the respect from this room. A birthing day is a miracle, but adopting a child from miles away is destiny. That's what brought you two together. Following the adoption, Liz and Giselle's story spread far and wide, melting the hearts of millions all over the world. Even the Today Show took notice, inviting the pair to appear and share their remarkable journey. I can't wait to wake up in the morning and say good morning to her, to pick her up at daycare, to have her run to me and ask for food now that she's eating, Liz later told Boston Globe. I never imagined that I could have a best friend who's two. In the time that Giselle, now a big kid, has been in Liz's care, she's made remarkable medical strides. She received most of her daily nutrition from a feeding tube, but she began eating by mouth and even developed a taste for pizza and avocados. "If you told me a year ago she'd be asking for pizza, I wouldn't have believed you," said Liz. "She's doing remarkably. It's just a slow progression, but in the right direction." She made all the difference in that infant's life. Sadly, many older Americans in the foster system aren't as lucky when finding a home. Please share this story with your friends and family.